Hi, everybody. Gene here. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, where every single week we answer the most common and uncommon questions about tapping and EFT so you can get the most out of your tapping practice, eliminate self-sabotage, and take the action that you want. Even though this is going live on the 20th day of November, there are still 10 days left in our 30-day tapping challenge, and I would love it if you joined us, even if it's this late in the game. If you go to tappingqa.com/30-day, that's tappingqa.com/30-day, you will be able to sign up and receive notifications every single day in your inbox, letting you know about our little tapping challenge, giving you a link to the video where you can tap along with me. And the videos are still available on the website. So if you sign up for those notifications, you're also going to get a link letting you know where you can find all of the past videos. You can tap along to all of them. They're just going to be hanging out. They're not going away at the end of the month. But by doing this 30-day challenge, it just gives us a chance to really have tapping be present in our life, which makes a difference when we do it every day. This is Gene Montrostelle, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 406, originally aired November 20th, 2019. Hi, everyone. I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Today, we're going to spend some time talking about and tapping for loving thoughts and loving ideas that we're sending to people in our life who happen to be struggling at this moment. Before we do that, I just wanted to thank all of the people who have been supporting the Tapping Q&A podcast. This podcast, even though it is free for you to consume, it is not free for me to produce. Between the time it takes to record these things, to transcribe episodes, to have things edited, all that sort of stuff takes time and effort. And there are a number of people who financially support the podcast. As a thank you for doing that, in addition to having the warm, fuzzy feeling that they're knowing that this is being created and sent all over the world, we have a number of bonuses that the people who support the podcast receive. This month, what they are getting is, in addition to having access to the 30-day tap along like you're getting, everybody who supports the podcast financially is getting the opportunity to download MP3 versions of those tap alongs so they can put them on their smart device and take them with them. If you decide to support the podcast, you will have access to the entire back catalog of all of the free resources that we have created, as well as new amazing bonuses that show up every single month. If you'd like to support the podcast, all you need to do is go to tappingqa.com/support. That's tappingqa.com/support. And to our amazing supporters, thank you, thank you, thank you. You make the podcast possible. Over the course of the last number of months, I have had a number of people in my life who are really having difficult times. Some of them are having difficult times because of health issues that they're dealing with. Some are having difficult times because of job circumstances. And some are having difficult times just because the relationships that they are in are tough, because relationships from time to time can be tough. And at a certain point, we can't do anything more for our loved ones. Like, I can't change the circumstance that they are in. And I've provided them a kind ear and time and whatever support I can provide them. And it can be really hard to be in that circumstance. And so today, what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little tapping, helping us to create a little space to send loving energy their way. And I am not naive enough to believe that me doing a round of tapping is going to completely transform someone else's life. But I'm also open to the possibility of how small changes in the way that we show up can make a difference to the people around us. And so the beautiful thing about doing something like this is if you take 5 or 6 minutes and you tap for someone in your life, even if there is no tangible difference that the tapping transforms something specific, the fact that we are taking 5 or 6 minutes to send and think loving thoughts of someone in our life, that is valuable and that is useful. And everything else that comes after that fact is a bonus. And I know that when I take time to do something like this, it puts me in a position to actually be able to be kinder, gentler, more present to the people around me, not just the person I'm tapping on. And when I do that, I make better choices and I like how I show up in the world more. So tapping like this has two immediate consequences. One, we're thinking loving thoughts about someone around us. Two, it resets the way that we show up. And if it only achieves those two things, then it is worth the 5 or 6 minutes that we are spending doing it. And everything else that comes after that is a bonus. So what I'd like you to do is just tap on the side of the hand, just take a nice big deep breath. And as you continue tapping on the side of your hand and you take another nice deep breath, I want you to tune into someone in your life right now who is struggling. And what I want you to do is I just want you to pull them and an intention for them into your heart. Just hold them there. Another nice big deep breath. And just move from point to point, repeating after me. I recognize that there are people who are in pain. I recognize the fact that people are struggling. And I want what is best for them. I want healing for them. I want transformation for them. I want insight for them. And I recognize the fact that I can't necessarily change what is happening. I can't take responsibility for their life. I can't take responsibility for their suffering. I can't take responsibility for their struggle. But I can be there. I can be present. I can be loving. I can be thoughtful. I can walk with them. I can want what's best for them. That might not solve the issue, but it is also not a small thing. Love from others is important. Care from others is important. Wanting good for them in their life is important. And so in this moment, I send healing thoughts. I send love. I send care. Knowing that's not going to transform everything. But knowing it is useful. Knowing it will make a difference. I give myself permission to be easy with myself. I give myself permission to be gentle with myself. When I feel hopeless at other people's suffering, it is possible for me to be present, be useful, make a difference, without trying to take responsibility. I send loving thoughts. I send inspiring thoughts. I send transforming thoughts. And I send healing thoughts. I only want what is best for my loved ones. Nice big deep breath. This is one of those tappings where you don't actually need a script like that. More than likely, the tapping we just did is going to give you a template where you can just speak from your heart and to state what is best and to hope for what is best as they navigate their day and as they navigate their life. And more than likely, I can feel it inside of me right now that after tapping on something like that, there's going to be a part of you that's going to want to reach out. And it's scary when someone is struggling to reach out. But if you feel it right now, send them a text, send them an email, give them a call, drop a card in the mail. Just let the person who is struggling know that you're there. Let them know that you're walking with them, even if there's nothing that you can do for them. And that will be encouraging. That will be helpful. That will create space. If you know someone in your life who would want to tap in a similar way and to share this, please be our ambassador, pass it along. Don't spam your inbox and send it to every single person in the world. But if you know someone you could share this with, please be our ambassador. The easiest and fastest way people find new content is from the recommendation of a friend. And I know I say it every single episode, but it's really the most valuable and the most important thing you could do for the podcast, other than doing the tapping to do some transformation for yourself, is to share it with someone else. The marketing budget for the podcast is your word of mouth. And so it makes a difference if you take the time to pass it along. If you have a question or a comment or a topic you'd like us to cover in the future, I can always be reached Gene, Gene, at tappingqa.com. You can click on the contact link on the website or in our free Tapping Q&A app. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, thousands and thousands of people have. You have access to our entire back catalog as well as written out versions of the scripts, just like this. It would mean the world to me if you just took a few moments and downloaded that so that as you're navigating your day, you have this amazing tapping library in your pocket. So if you need a moment, you can excuse yourself, sneak off to the bathroom, go into a room at the office that no one is in, take a few moments and tap. It will make a difference in your day. And if you are healthier, if you are more emotionally in a place of well-being, you're going to show up in a way that you're much happier with. And our entire world is going to be a better place if you are doing that. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, I would really encourage you to do so. All you need to do is go to tappingpodcast.com, and we have all of the information on how you can subscribe in Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Deezer. Basically, anywhere you can find audio and podcasts, you can find the Tapping Q&A. And it is always, always free, even if it's a platform that is making you pay to get access to it. There's some place you can find it for free. We even have a version on the Alexa, which makes it super easy for you to use. And I have a little video on there to show you how to install it on that device and how to navigate it so you can find the episodes that are most useful for you. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrastelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrastelli Tapping Q&A 2016. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrastelli or Tapping Q&A.